video, we're going to take an in-depth look at all the ATV crashes that the cameras caught at the NYOA State Championship in 2023. Round 1 had its fair share of crashes, and first up is Jesse Madison hitting that right front tire just slightly off a tree, enough to get his Can-Am Renegade unweighted and over on its side. We see Jesse hit the tree from Mike Barone's onboard camera. Mike takes a look over and sees that Jesse is actually okay. The quad just appears to be on his side, so he keeps going. Little did he realize that Jesse was actually pinned under his quad, but fortunately, Guns, Dan Honacki, just behind these guys, stopped to offer some assistance and help Jesse out. Next up is the 4x4 rookie Justin Mills. He does the same thing that Jesse Madison did earlier in the race, puts that front tire too far onto the inside of a turn, bounces it off a tree, gets the Renegade unweighted and over on its side. And once again, Dan Honacki was there to help out. This is filmed from the back of Dan Honacki's machine coming down the slopes of Greek Peak Mountain Resort. And this unknown 450 rider, he does a tuck and roll. Looks like he hits pretty hard. Rumor has it his quad is still going. This crash features Kyle Lawrence in the 4x4 class. We're going to see a few crashes from Kyle. He was charging hard at round 4 when this tree decided to stop him in his tracks. During round 10, Dan Honacki had to get off. He caught a root just wrong, sneaking between two trees. They put him into an endo, forcing him to bail off to the side. Dan landed right on a rock and bruised the bone in his hip. Here's another hard hit with Kyle Lawrence from Twisted Fence, round 8. Kyle lost his brakes early in the race, wasn't able to make this corner, and slammed head-on right into the tree. Unfortunately, the machine took a very hard impact and bent the frame. Kyle was no longer able to race that machine the rest of the season, was forced to purchase a new frame and swap over all his parts. Here's another one with 4x4 rookie Justin Mills. He just has to work on that patience a little bit more for the new season. He wasn't quite sure which line to take. He was running out of time, and he forced the issue under this log, and it just didn't work out for him. An almost identical crash to the last one we just saw. Kyle Lawrence back at it again. Also got impatient trying to get around an area. Chose to go under a log, and it did not work out for Kyle either.
Oh no! Yeah, give me a hand! Push up on the tree! Push up on the tree!
This next crash involves vet B rider Joseph Newberry. And unfortunately, I think Joseph was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. He was riding far left, trying to allow faster riders from our class, the 4x4 class, on by. But Colton Harkness just happened to get a little too eager, making that move, caught Joe's front tire, sending him into a barrel roll of a crash. Fortunately, Joe was okay after this. He did ring his bell. I think he got knocked out, but he was okay and able to get up and off the track. And we're finally at the breaking bones part of the video. First up is a day rider from Connecticut, decided to come up and try 4x4, and it did not work out well for him. These whoop-de-doos sent him ass over tea kettle, and I believe he broke his ankle in this crash. This was my worst incident of the year. Round 5, ditch banger on the Greek Peak mountain slopes. I clipped a tree, forcing my left handlebar back into my left rib cage, breaking those ribs, and I was forced to slow up the next few rounds during the 23 season, which cost me valuable points. This racer knows all about losing valuable points to a broken bone. Jesse Madison breaks his pelvis off the start. He gets spun around, making contact with other racers, and flung off his machine right onto his hip, breaking his pelvis bone. One of the most controversial crashes I had on camera all summer long. This one got thousands and thousands of views. Dustin Carnes hitting a camper on the way through the pits. But what led up to that accident was hitting this tree. He had a lot of mud on the lens, so it's hard to see, but Dustin is running at a high rate of speed through some very deep ruts and clips a tree, which broke the A-arm on the front of his machine, causing steering problems. Dustin decides to call it a day and is headed back to his truck. On the way through the pits, that A-arm completely snaps in half, forcing his machine into a hard left-hand turn right into the side of someone's camper. He was merely trying to get back to his truck when that camper just came out of nowhere. If you stuck around this long in the video, you've made it to the top 3 worst crashes of NYOA's 2023 ATVs. Number 3, Dustin Carnes, battling for the lead with Colton Harkness at round 4, tries to make a pass through an alternate line, gets off balance over a rut, sends him into a tiny tree to the right, ejects him across the track to a bigger tree on the left, where he collides front bumper first right into it, rips off the front bumper, knocks over part of the tree, and sends him flying. He ends up a good 15 feet down the racetrack, away from his quad. The entire field of 4x4s comes by. We're checking on him, making sure he's okay. He was able to give us a thumbs up, remount the machine, and limp it in for a lap. Coming in at number 2 is also Dustin Carnes, and this wasn't a NYOA event, it was at Smirnadilla over the summer, a one-off cross-country event with friends, and Dustin was pushing hard, trying to get some bragging rights, misjudged his speed around this one turn, and caught the tree, sending him downhill. And the number 1 crash of the 23 season was at round 1, Dream Riders with Brandon Jane. He was a rookie to the 4x4 class, and it was within the first mile of the race. Brandon was running about mid-pack, very excited to be racing finally, and I think his excitement just got the best of him when he went just a little too hard over this one rough section. He's just ahead of Mike Barone. Mike's camera caught the flip. What happened was the ass end came up too high. Brandon's leaning forward over the nose. The quad goes into the somersault, and the rear grab bar lands right on his leg, instantly breaking his leg and almost severing it off. You can actually see when Brandon gets up to limp out of the way, his leg is dangling. It's barely connected. A very gruesome accident, one of the worst I've seen on the racetrack. Brandon unfortunately did lose that leg in that accident. On Sunday racing, he broke it. They did their best to try to recover, and keep that leg attached. Wednesday, 4 days later, they finally had to take it off just below the knee. Now here's the crazy part. Brandon Jane wants to come back and race the 2024 NYOA Race Series.
Jack is brutal.
Oh.
Game of the game, right?
Oh.
Like that guy that wrecked right in front of you guys at the start. Did you see the guy get ejected?
I saw somebody was up, but I didn't see if they got
Snap
out.
his leg right in front of me.
Right out the start?
Right there in the mud hole where I'm standing.
Oh, yeah.
It's Endo there?
He hit a kicker and went flying and the quad landed on.
Oh, that's wrong.
That's like everything, dude.
That's a wrap for all the 2023 ATV crashes that my cameras caught. Hopefully the 2024 race season treats everyone a little bit better. So get yourselves and those machines ready. We'll see you at the races.